News now, a very influential Democrat from Virginia, State Senator Louise Lucas, is at the center of a major FBI corruption investigation. Right now, in fact, agents are executing search warrants across the Commonwealth, including her office. Alex Hogan is.
Well, this is some pretty huge news breaking this Wednesday afternoon as federal law enforcement agents led by the FBI swarms the Portsmouth offices of Democrat Louise Lucas, a top ally of Governor Abigail Spanberger, a vile little woman, and one of the chief architects of Virginia's gerrymandered congressional map, the map that is currently under review by the Supreme Court of Virginia. Real quick, I am Terry Christoph, a fed-up Gen Xer, and a ticked-off Virginian who has come out from behind the scenes in conservative media and grabbed the mic so that we can talk about what's really going on. Welcome to Smart Girl Politics. It was this tweet from Fox News' Bill Melugin that first alerted the world that something was going down at Democrat Louise Lucas's office in Portsmouth. So here is that tweet. Breaking. Fox News is on the scene in Portsmouth, Virginia, where the FBI is raiding the office of Virginia Senate pro tempore Louise Lucas, a Democrat and close ally of Virginia Governor Spanberger. Federal law enforcement sources tell Fox this is in connection to a major corruption probe, and the FBI is serving multiple search warrants approved by a federal judge at her office and a next-door cannabis dispensary. More to come, blah, 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 with Alex Hogan, who reports that Lucas just showed up on the scene as the FBI searches her office. And earlier this year, Lucas suggested that Virginia Senators Tim Kaine and Mark Warner are cucks as she pushed for the 10-1 Virginia Democrat redistricting plan. And I actually just did a video in which I referenced that. I'm going to link to that at the end, and if I remember, I'll stick a card up there. Now let's take a look at that full breaking news from Fox News, because there's some good information in there. So I want to go back to that. They were the first on the scene on this, and it's just such good stuff.
Hi, Harris. So the FBI here telling us today that these are court-authorized criminal search warrants that they are issuing. They're going into the building behind me. This is the office here in Portsmouth of State Senator Louise Lucas. You can likely see some of the FBI agents behind me. All of the staffers inside this building were told to come outside. I could hear them saying that they were not allowed back in the building. Throughout the last hour, we've been seeing the FBI come and go carrying boxes out of the building. Now, just across the parking lot next to where I am, there is a cannabis dispensary. We know that the state senator is associated with several cannabis locations and dispensaries. And what we're seeing there, a completely different scene carrying out. SWAT teams arrived with their weapons drawn, telling anyone in the building to come out of the building with their hands up. We also saw at least 3 people being taken away, taken into custody. First, they were put in handcuffs, put on the ground, and then they were taken away. So it's a slightly less large presence than we did see earlier, but there still is a good amount of FBI agents still here on the ground. Also, what happened within the last hour, the Senator Louise Lucas arrived here herself. I was able to speak with her. I asked her what her reaction was to all of this. She told me she had no idea what they were doing here. I asked her about the different locations that they might be. She, in response, asked me what locations the FBI were at today. We know, according to officials, at least 10 locations are being looked at today. Harris.
Alex, great job.
She has no idea. Louise Lucas, she's innocent, and just you wait. In 2 seconds, she's going to be a big old victim. But she's not a victim. She's a vile little woman who has no place in politics. Okay, so the local Fox News affiliate here in Washington, D.C. had a live stream, and it captured quite a bit of what happened when FBI agents and SWAT, it sounds like, descended on these offices that are related to Louise Lucas, who is well known to be a maven in the weed market. Let's take a look, because there's some interesting stuff going down. There's one guy, and I think they're taking another guy. You can probably see his feet down there. A bunch of people getting busted today. That guy, this guy. I'm not going to spend too much time on that live stream footage, but obviously people were being taken into custody. There's some major law enforcement present. There's a lot of SWAT, FBI, and this is some heavy stuff, heavy resources that they were bringing in there. So I'm really interested in knowing. Some ground we need to cover is Louise Lucas's role in the gerrymandering controversy. These two things are probably not related. She's just got her devious little hands in lots of devious little pies going on. So in addition to whatever's going on with these cannabis dispensaries that she's involved with, she's also been quite involved in quite a big public gloating way about her role in the gerrymandering. The new map, we've covered it, and I've got bazillion videos about it, that is going to, if passed, is going to take it from a split of 6 Democrats and 5 Republicans to a 10 Democrat, 1 Republican split. And this is all at the hands of Louise Lucas. This was her thing. She started it. She's made the T-shirts. We'll show you that in a minute. But let's just listen to her a little bit, because what a sweetheart she is. So let me see if I can blow this up with you.
We didn't ask for this mess, but we're going to finish this mess. So I'm being real kind with my words today. Okay. They started, we will finish it. We would not be in this place if it had not been for Donald Trump and his shenanigans and trying to get what he called 5 new seats that he was entitled to. He ain't entitled.
Ooh,
she's entitled.
She's a nasty.
And what we are saying is that in order for us to try to level the playing field, Virginia is going to play a pivotal role in this whole process. Because when we go from a 10-1 map, we would put us in a good posture for us to make sure that we push back on his power grab. And I can tell you, when he went to Texas, you all remember when the Texas delegation left to go to Boston, we were in Boston for the National Conference of State Legislators. And we joined them at the State House for their rally. And, you know, I'm an old civil rights activist, and so it didn't take much to get a spark under me. So I got down there. The first thing I said was, oh my God, this is going to be the movement that we must be involved in, and Virginia is going to be able to play a pivotal role. And so let's get this game going.
We didn't ask for this fight, but we are not going to walk away from it. That's what we said in California. And as Madam President said, when the delegates came from Texas to Boston, you met with them. When they came to Sacramento, we all joined together with them. I don't think they're going to win 5 seats in Texas. I don't think they're going to, but that's what they went for. We cannot disarm unilaterally. We joined the fight, and we're going to win 5 in California. Now, here we are. This is
Florida would like a word.
Medicaid. It's a fight, a billion.
That's enough of those two old broads. What is the combined age here, do you think, of Nancy Pelosi and Louise Lucas? It's at least 160 years old, closing in on 200. We got to do better, America. We need a little of fresh blood in here, because these two broads are they're well past their sell-by dates and are really doing harm. Luckily, Pelosi's on her way out, and maybe Louise Lucas is on her way out too. We'll take a look. We'll obviously be keeping an eye on it. Now, what is this raid all about? We haven't heard yet from Kash Patel or the FBI on what it is, but we have some hints that I would like to share with you. This is under the Bill Melugin tweet from earlier. Steve Guest says, can't say there weren't signs all over the place. Louise Lucas is an illicit drug dealer, and he links to an article that says Virginia senator allegedly sold illicit, untested weed products at her hemp store. A Virginia state senator has reportedly been selling fake, unregulated THC products at her hemp store 2 whole years before adult use sales are slated to begin. It seems like maybe those products she's been selling, that could be part of what today's raid was all about. Now, what else might it be? There's some very, very concerning allegations being made against her. Take a look at this from Virginians for Safe Communities over on X. Could this be why Virginia Senate Leader Louise Lucas just got raided by the FBI? Lucas's companies exploit, abuse developmentally disabled adults for profits. Lucas Lodge LLC, since 2019, 9 deaths, 143 serious incidents with injuries. So this is a little crazy. Now, these are allegations, so we're not going to say that this has been proven or that she's even being charged with that or if it has anything to do with today's raids in Portsmouth. But with this lady, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'd just like to remind everybody, she's got some questionable business practices that might be bordering on illegal, which we'll see about that. She's a horrible force in the Virginia State Senate, and she's just a downright unpleasant person. This was her on Twitter earlier, or X, earlier this week, when people noticed that following the failure of the certification, the Board of Elections was unable to certify the referendum that she wants passed. She disappeared. Once they were not able to certify it, her little runny mouth that she likes to run all the time with her vile little thoughts, she up and disappeared. And somebody said, "Where the hell is Louise Lucas?" Put her on a missing a person on a milk carton. And she goes, "I was out partying my ass off all weekend long. Where the hell were you?" She's a weed shop owner. She's vulgar. She's 82. And she thinks that she is the bee's knees. She thinks she's untouchable. This is what happens when we let people serve well into their 80s and become lifelong politicians and weed shop owners, apparently. I just like to scroll through her feed because there she is. Oh, she's a fighter, y'all. This girl's a fighter. Some of the things that she likes to put in there. This was one where she'll whoop your ass. She's gonna whoop your ass, everybody. And then lower down there, she really is taken with herself. She really thinks she's a fighter. Here. And I'm not going to read it aloud because YouTube won't like that. But this is what she's selling. This is what she's been selling since October. She is the person that pushed the 10F1 map. So if you're looking for a face behind it, she's your gal. So this is a pretty short video today. It's kind of haphazardly put together, but I wanted to get the information in front of you because Louise Lucas has been a major player in a lot of the things that we talk about on this channel, particularly the gerrymandering, where they're stripping Republicans of their congressional seats and disenfranchising huge portions of Virginia. She's a bad person. And Abigail Spanberger is her buddy. Now, I put a video up, and I'm going to link to it, that just yesterday that talks about how under Louise Lucas's thumb Abigail Spanberger is. Abigail Spanberger does the bidding of this woman who's being raided by the FBI right now. She cannot escape the power of Louise Lucas because Abigail Spanberger would like to run for president one day in the very near future. And to do that, she is going to have to kowtow to the thugs that run Virginia. And that one of those thugs is Louise Lucas. She's the head of the state Senate and obviously has great power. Abigail Spanberger is no ally or friend, and she's probably chuckling a little bit at what's happening today. But make no mistake about it, Abigail Spanberger is thoroughly under the thumb of Louise Lucas, who now we have to wonder what's going on with this woman. She doesn't care what happens to Virginians. She cares only what happens to herself and what power she can wield. And now, what is she up to when she's not at the state capitol? What's going on at those cannabis shops? What is this lady doing? So hopefully we will find out more. Hopefully Kash Patel will get out in front of the microphone and let us know a little bit more about what was happening with these cannabis shops and Louise Lucas's role. But like I say, with Democrats, where there's smoke, there's fire. And she is due some comeuppance because she has unleashed some holy hell on Virginia, and she deserves a little bit of justice. And I hope that we all get that. And this isn't Louise Lucas's first brush with the law. I wanted to note that back in the summer of 2020, when the BLM riots were going on, Louise Lucas encouraged a group of rioters, BLM rioters, to pull down a Confederate statue in Portsmouth, Virginia. And as they did that, they injured a man seriously. Now, this was a guy that was there to riot too, so you don't feel too bad for him, but he was injured because these rioters, these thugs, were doing the bidding of Louise Lucas, much like Abigail Spanberger does. And she was charged in that, and the charges were dropped, of course. So is justice going to come bite her in the behind this time? Who knows? Who knows? But it's nice to see that maybe we're moving towards that. Anyway, this is your time to shine. I want you to leave me a comment. Go down in the comment section. Let me know if you think that charges are finally going to stick to Louise Lucas's vile little behind. or any other thoughts that you might have, just let it go. I want to hear from you. Also, I am going to be linking to that video just yesterday about how Abigail Spanberger is so under the thumb of Louise Lucas and how they are freaking out because they don't think that the Supreme Court of Virginia is going to rule in their favor. So they are in free fall, and it's a beautiful, glorious day to watch that. So be sure to watch this next video. And while you're here, like, subscribe, comment, share, do all of those things. I'm happy that you are here. I'm going to let you go. I will follow up with any news breaks on Louise Lucas. But for now, be safe out there, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.